that. Um, Also, I wanted to ask, um, later on after we do the subconscious recoding and when we chat as a group, sometimes I like to include just the audio of us talking because I'm going to be re uploading this to YouTube so that people can know what these calls are like. If anyone is uncomfortable with their audio being included, please let me know now or at some point or send me an email so that I can just remove that, your talking points. Because I just want to respect everyone's privacy. But it's also really helpful when like people know what the calls are like. Yeah. So is it recording? Yeah, I have to do this thing where I have to plug in my hard drive because I don't have enough space on my MacBook, but it'll record to the same spot. Thank you, Karma, for sharing. That was so beautiful and leads us right into what we're going to be talking about. Um, yeah, anger. So anger is a useless emotion. And what I mean by that is anger helps us fuel our passions and fuel our creativity. And it also is fuel for change. And change is not, it's no bueno for a system that is focused on oppressing us. Change of that system is not ideal. It means loss of like billions of dollars. It means loss of people like us paying attention to a system that is robbing us. It involves all of us people power collectively deciding what we're gonna give our attention to and not give our attention to. And those are not good things for a system and for this system. And so anger is a useless emotion, and we're not taught how to process it. We're instead taught how to internalize it and use it to self-destruct. Instead of fighting back, we use it to self-destruct. And I know all of you have, to some extent, used that internalization to self-destruct in whatever way that you have done that, whether that is physically harming yourself or going on OCD spirals and trying to keep track of how things are, or whether that is just like spiraling, period, doom scrolling, binge eating, substance use, whether that is just an escape and numb out or to have a very stimulating experience. It's all a way of suppressing that anger or using that anger to self-destruct. And today I'm going to be teaching you how to channel that anger through your body, regardless of if it's showing up as numbness or over stimulation. Regardless of how it's showing up, you will be able to bring yourself back to equilibrium and find ways to express that. And actually, when I first started creating with my anger, I remember making a YouTube video about being queer in engineering. I'm an engineering student, if you all didn't know. And I realized how angry I was as a queer person in this setting. And so I made a YouTube video, and it was my first time being really angry on camera. And I was embarrassed while filming it. And I think I took it down, but I might put it back up. Um, I mentioned feeling so embarrassed that I was angry and that I was letting you all see me angry and see me passionately talk about how this environment was actively harmful to me. And I was embarrassed because I was not taught that standing up for myself was the proper way to do it, the proper way to handle it. I was always told that if you have a problem with how I do things under this roof, I don't want to hear it. And that's a very similar thread for trans people or for any marginalized body and existence, is that it's embarrassing to be angry. Why are you angry? Why are you angry? Like, this is supposed to happen to people like you. Like this, like you're trans, or you're black, or you're brown, or you're neurodivergent, or you're disabled. This is supposed to happen to people like you. Why are you mad? Like, this is not cute. This is embarrassing for you to be mad about this. And so that is constantly being shoved down our throats. And so it is an embarrassing feeling to stand up for yourself. It's that feeling of shame and it's that feeling of self-doubt. And that's the point of isolation and having an individual society is that we don't connect to each other to discuss our shame and to discuss our fears and to collaborate to release them and experience joy together. Or even just process grief together, like having a trans day of remembrance. Um, these things that are constantly being perpetuated are not easy to get out of, especially because it targets the body, not the mind. Like we can watch an hour long of TikToks that are talking to us and telling us about how being, um, we have to resist, we have to call our senators, we have to like express ourselves and not be anxious and the whole world is trying to make us stressed. We can understand that we're too stressed, we're definitely too overstimulated, but if we can't stop the scroll, put the content away and actually come to the body, we're just consuming more information that we don't need that we already know and not integrating it. So the purpose of these community calls, this is an integration session. It's a place for us to speak our shame. It's a place for us to speak our fears. And it's a place for us to create a connection from that cerebral understanding to a body understanding and to use that to create and funnel it into something instead of removing ourselves from our body. And like even so much of like new age spirituality is just a continuation of cerebral thought processing with no application.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was a whole lot of talking. Um, let me think. I think I should stop talking and let's actually get into our bodies. And then, because I have so much to talk about. Yeah, and I'm very excited. So feel free, Karma up and Ru, I'll put you guys on mute so that you guys can just like feel free to take a deep breath out because we're gonna do some breathing right now. So feel free to just shake out your body, however that feels naturally. Just like find an intuitive bounce or an intuitive flow. No over pushing or over straining. Just a slow motion, intuitive. Take a deep breath in and release. Another slow breath in. Hold it at the top. And when you're ready to exhale, make your exhale longer than your inhale. Ha. Now close your eyes here if you haven't already, and just allow yourself to come into this present moment. Let your body come to an equilibrium and make it just be natural to your current state, even if you are a little bit anxious. I find when I wake up on a Saturday, I'm usually pretty calm because I don't need to go anywhere. So perhaps you're just feeling calm, and that's your equilibrium. So now that we have entered a space of calmness, how does this feel? Does it feel scary? Does it feel just right? Notice if in this moment there's any resistance to this feeling. And I think we've spent about 2 minutes here in calmness, in presence. Now, can you imagine? Just imagine, we're not going to stay here for 10 minutes, but could you stay here for 10 minutes? Could you spend 10 minutes in this energy? Could you spend an hour in this energy? Or do you think maybe you might get anxious at that point in the hour? Would your body immediately start moving to soothe yourself? Now we're going to do our body recall exercise using the words I remember. Now, slowly, if you can, start rocking your body back and forth here. And if you can, do a little butterfly hug if this helps. The main part is just intuitive motion. And this butterfly hug stimulates bilateral stimulation. In the calls, we love to do this one. I remember when my body soothed itself. Let these words just sink in. I remember being in my mother's arms when she would rock me back and forth to soothe me. I remember rocking back and forth. I remember being calm. I remember being in the womb. I remember being safe. I remember crying. I remember screaming at the top of my little lungs. Now I'm just gonna let you freestyle within yourself. What do you remember from whatever age? I remember dancing, sharing toys, testing my parents' patience to figure out how the world works. What do you remember? I remember. Feel free to say this out loud. You're all on mute. I remember. I remember that vacation with my family, playing on the beach in the hot sun. I remember that one friend I met at the playground and I never saw them again. I remember looking at myself in the mirror and loving what I saw and thinking this was gonna be me and this is me and being curious about how it's gonna change. Or maybe I remember looking in the mirror and I hated myself. A few more moments here. I remember blank. I remember peace. I remember a time out of time. And now I want to ask you a couple of questions. No need to really force an answer out of yourself. Just see what comes up. What did I value back then? Did I value play? Did I value joy? Did I value self-expression? Did I value my pain? When I was uncomfortable, did I scream? Did I cry? Did I put up a fight? When I got a little cut on the playground, did I run to my mom for help? Did I value my experience and expression of pain? And when did that change? When did a boo-boo become just a little boo-boo after cutting carrots and I need to finish cutting this carrot? When did a boo-boo become not enough even to get out a Band-Aid and put some polysporin on it? When did pain and hurt become something you suppressed instead of expressed? When did you start running away from mama and papa instead of towards mama and papa? Did you feel that you could take on the whole world? And say this out loud with me. I remember when I took on the whole world. I remember when I stood tall and strong, even though I was so small, so much smaller than all the adults around me. I remember when I climbed big trees. I remember when I was king or queen of the whole playground. I remember when I enlisted my friends on the playground for a game of imagination, when we played mom and dad and we had kids, or maybe we competed in scooter tournaments. I remember when it was so easy to make friends. Where do you feel this in your body? This cloud of suppression as it just comes over your self-expression. I just felt it in my back. Where do you feel it? This cloud. Is it in your back? Is it in your sacral? Maybe you notice your feet are sore, your shoulders are sore, or your brain is really stressed and your forehead is tight, your jaw is tight. Your brain is trying to figure it all out. Take a deep breath in. Let your body expand all the way. Let your tummy hang out as you breathe in. Let it hang out all the way. Maybe you need to adjust your pants a little. And breathe out. Mm. So what we did just now was tap into our nervous system and our values. And values and nervous system are so closely tied together because our nervous system allows us to enact our values or not act on our values. And actually, we may value a lot of things that we don't actually want to experience because valuing those things protects us or maybe it allows us to have an experience that we think we want. We may value our safety more than our self-expression. We may value our safety more than joy because joy meant potential for punishment. Expression meant potential for punishment. So, in a sense, your nervous system is fighting you on two different value systems. Do I value joy or do I value safety? And right now, those may not be the same value. So, how are you valuing what you say you don't want? How are you valuing your suppression? How are you valuing the substance you use to suppress or to stimulate? How are you valuing the chaotic friends and relationships? How are you valuing constantly refreshing the news page? How are you valuing constantly doom scrolling? How are you valuing that stimulus or that suppressant? Even though you say you don't want it, even though you say you will put your phone away, you say you will quit, you say you will choose more peaceful people. How are you valuing what you say you don't want? What identity would have to crumble for you to receive peace, trust, safety? What identity that you hold within yourself would have to crumble? How are you still performing stress, anxiety, suffering, unsafety? Who are you performing this in front of? I mean, you live alone now, but you're still performing for the parent that doesn't want you to rest, still performing for the culture that wants you to be anxious and stressed. Other people are suffering, then I should too. Or maybe mama and papa are suffering, so they will get mad at you for that too. Maybe your partner is suffering, so they will get mad at you for that. Maybe your best friend is suffering, so you can't suffer as well and share your suffering with them. Take a deep breath in into all of that. Maybe give yourself a hug. Hold yourself in everything that we have just sat with. Give yourself a squeeze. And on your next exhale, release with a guttural, deep ah. Or with a hum. Breathe in. Mm. No thinking here. Let it all come out of your body. Deep breath in. Mm. Let that rage come out of your grumbling. Mm. Let all those unspoken words, let all that pain come out. And feel free to tap on your body with 2 or 3 fingers wherever you feel you need that space, that safety. Take a deep breath in. Ah, you are safe. Thank you, body, for letting me feel this through you. You are safe. And talk to your body like this. Or just listen to me talk to your body. You are safe. You are loved. You are at home. You're at peace. You deserve to feel regulated. You deserve to feel high up on a pedestal, sitting luxuriously on a throne, covered in all the necessities for your comfort. No longer is it a second thought. Your comfort is not a second thought to me, and I love you. And whenever you're ready, allow yourself to just gently open your eyes and look around the room. Maybe you want to keep tapping here. There's an acupressure point here that you can tap just with 2 fingers or stimulate it at the same time like this. Just allow yourself to observe the room that you're in. Can you remember when you were young and you didn't even have a room to yourself, maybe? Or maybe people kept walking in and out of the room without knocking first. Just look around your room. Maybe this is one thing you have now that you maybe have not noticed, that this room is yours. Or maybe it's a communal room, but do you feel safe in this room? Let yourself just take in the surroundings. Maybe you rush about in this room, but can you not really take in the decor? Maybe there's something you bought that you really like, or something that you use every day that you really like. Just take it in and know that that thing is yours, that you love that thing, and that thing belongs to you specifically because you arranged those stickers in that particular way on that thing. Or maybe it just belongs to you because it has your bacteria, and that bacteria is safe. You use it every day. It remembers your fingerprints. This idea of ownership and custody, autonomy, sovereignty, and for people who have been living on stolen land or stolen from their land, people, or maybe whose cultures have been erased. And this is a case for us all, whether our culture has been erased and replaced with work, hustle, grind. Maybe our culture has been erased and replaced with Christianity. Maybe our culture has been our connection to our roots, which once was maybe European, pagan, Irish, fairies, goblins, um, nymphs and sirens and mermaids. Or maybe it was the tradition of the Yoruba lands and the Yoruba people, African tradition, African technology, Yemoja, Ogun, Oshun, Mami Wata, Mother, mother of the water, mother of the sweet water of the womb. All of these cultures and traditions. Maybe it was the tradition of the animals and the spirit of the swan, of the squirrel, of the praying mantis, of the eagle, gathering in community to celebrate ourselves, to pass on morality, values, care through oral tradition, through rites of passage, through suffering that initiates us into greater aspects of ourself, not through suffering that just causes us to question our worth. Rites of passage of womanhood, rites of passage of manhood and gender queerness, and maybe the woman or the man or the genderqueer person we want to become. The rite of passage of simply embodiment, simply how we learn over time the embodiment we want to have, the expression we want to have, and how it's not a punishment. The suffering is not a punishment, it's an initiation. How deeply can I hold my rage? And how deeply can that rage change my life for the better? How deeply can I hold my ugly reflection in the mirror? And how can that initiate me into greater self-love? And how can I allow my beauty to find me naturally in my acceptance of all that is within me? Ugly, beautiful, messy, gross, perfect, wrong, too much, too little, just right. How can I love every aspect of me and not pick and choose and cherry pick what is good to show people? And also, how can I give myself grace when I inevitably fuck up? How can I give others grace and remind myself that I'm not trying to win or compete? And maybe that endearment that I witness another person's mistake in is the same endearment that other people can reflect back to me. That my expression and my ugliness is not a measure of my value. It's a measure of me allowing myself to try and to express. It's a measure of me getting better each and every single day. Hmm. Now I'm just going to let you sit in that. How does that feel within you? Let yourself smile. Reverse engineer this feeling. If you can smile within your body, it'll generate that same feeling of joy and happiness within you. Let yourself smile and hold it. Don't be afraid of your joy, of your smile. Maybe you want to shake out your body a little or stand a bit taller, breathe in a bit deeper. Great job. You're doing so great. And you've been so good and so strong and so capable. And through it all, you keep getting back up. And I'm so proud of you. And every expression, every emotion living in this body is so proud of you. Every iteration of who we've been So proud of you. Every iteration of who we're gonna be is so proud of you. Every person in this group is so proud of you. And as we slowly, slowly come back to the group, come back to presence with each other, just reach out a metaphorical hand, metaphorical hug. Maybe hug yourself, knowing that we're all going through this at a capacity that is so insurmountably challenging, or feels so insurmountably challenging to comprehend. The fact that our trans bodies, our neurodivergent bodies, our disabled bodies, our black and brown bodies, however any of that applies to you in particular, knowing that we have to stand up for each other now, and in doing that, we lose every single one of our privileges. Our privileges are upheld by our ability to ignore our own pain, to keep expressing cis when we know we want to express trans, keep silencing trans, keep censoring trans, keep censoring messy hair, keep censoring facial hair, keep censoring Adam's apples and wide hips and tits or flat chests, whatever we censor. We're coming into a time where we have to stand up for each other. And whatever safety we lose in the eyes of the patriarchy, in the eyes of systems trying to kill us, just know that we were always dead people in their eyes. And that to be alive, to actually choose to be safe, only then can we really create safety for another person. Only then can we stand up for the people who are having it the worst right now, for whatever reason, whether that is financially or situationally or circumstantially. Remember when you had it so fucking bad and now you have so fucking great in so many ways, even if it's still hard. You kept choosing peace, you kept choosing safety. Beautiful. I'll come back to the group now. Come back to yourself. Feel free to pull out a journal and journal on anything that has come up for you in this space. Of course, only if that feels relevant, if that feels like I want to remember something from this moment. Or feel free to type anything into the chat so I can read it out and we can meditate and munch on it together. Any fears that came up, any shames that came up, any perspective shifts where you feel like, well, maybe actually it is a good idea to pursue safety, even if I'm being taught that unsafety is my only safety. Whenever you're ready, feel free to share if you like, if that is something you want to do, of course. You can just stay in the presence of it just with yourself as well and what has come up for you. Oh, I fucking hate my hair. I have to style it with like a round brush and a blow dryer after every time I shower. And I did not have the energy for that yesterday, so now I have to look like this. But it's fine. I love myself in every form. Let's go. I am gonna keep touching it
Well, see, that's why you just get a whole bag filled with hair.
though. Yeah.
I am growing mine back out though. It's like it's about like down well the front's about here. The
Yeah, I
back's
remember
a little bit less.
you had like that you had bangs, right? That
Yeah, yeah, around the
yeah,
sides. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
put them down
yeah.
the sides. It's getting there.
Love.
But yeah, my hair is totally flat too. So
It's
yeah.
actually all about how you style it and how you dry it. And I didn't know it made such a big difference. But just the way that I dry my hair, just the way that I shape my hair as I'm drying it, like if I move it like this and dry it in that shape, it will automatically stay in that shape. And also my hair takes heat well. So then I'll have like it for the whole time like that. And it's just like, wow, this is insane how this works. But yeah, anyway, that's neither here nor there.
I thought it was real interesting, and that was like I don't really think a lot when I'm making decisions, or like I think, well, I have to do these things. I don't really think about what really makes me happy, which I guess makes a lot of sense. But since I end up like doing things that I don't want to do like all the time, um, out of like, feeling like I have to, or the safety of the stable job, or the safety that I hate going to every day that like breaks my body, or like the safety of like, emotional comfort from people I know that aren't good for me, or things like that. And not going out and doing things. Like I was thinking when you were talking about that when I was little, like seeing new things and going new places and having new experiences was what I love doing. And I stopped doing all that for more than a decade. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't do anything. I just stayed inside all the time. Um, so yeah, I really like that. I wrote down a little thing that I can go back and reflect and ask myself when I'm trying to make decisions, to make sure they align with my values and try to find out what I actually do value.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
I go back and forth depending on the day.
Yeah, just to see, just to test it out.
Yeah, or like, sometimes I'm like, yeah, fuck this job. I hate it. And then all of a sudden all the bills are due and I'm like, God, I'm glad I have this job.
Mm,
So,
mhm. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Is there any more?
mhm.
Is there more?
Oh, me for me? No, I think that was it. I don't
Thank-
know if you're asking somebody else. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Karma. Mm. I love
Mhm.
going back to those early memories, because I think before the age of 8 is actually when we finish formalizing our identity, like for the most part. And so a lot of the things that like I was an eldest child, and by the time I was 8, that role was already ingrained in me, and I had a really overwhelming amount of responsibility because I had to step in and be a parent to my younger sibling a lot of times. And so for her, it would have been different. She would have been a younger sibling. And so even those little minute details change how we grow up in a certain setting, or what we even believe about ourselves and our bodies and about our existence. And then how that translates into the world we live in, and then also reaffirmed to us every day of our lives, depending on what that experience is. So going back to those early memories of identity and values that we picked up from family or from our awareness in our environment allows us to like chip away at it and replace it with something completely different and then slowly,
Mm.
yeah, live a life that is alongside values that matter to us. And when you live like when you know your values and you live in accordance to them, it is that much harder for anyone to knock you off your game and off your purpose and off your plan because you know deep down, everyone can hate me for this, but I am acting in accordance with my values. And no one, now that I know what it feels like to do that, no one can take that away from me. And that is real power. And like, I like to bring up this example because I'm visible online as a trans person. And I definitely have sometimes fears come up where it's like, well, people are killing trans people, targeting trans people. Am I just like putting an extra big target on my back for this? And so, especially when I'm feeling scared or I just spend a whole half hour talking, like listening to TikToks of people bringing awareness to this and stuff like that and talking about it, I'm like, okay, well, shit. Um, should I just go be quiet in my room? But I spent 7 years being a stealth trans guy, telling no one I was trans, living completely a cis life, adopting all of the misogynistic cis beliefs, all of the audacity of a cishet white boy, all of the emotional suppression and the stoicism. And I hated my
Mm.
life and I hated myself, even though I had all those privileges. And so I value not being stealth anymore. I value being visible. I value being out and proud. And I value, and also my YouTube channel blew up after I started talking about trans. I was getting 29 views a video when I was being a cis white boy. And then I started getting 1K, 2K views, like 3.5K. And then I got a video that blew up, got to 40K views, and I was watching it grow those numbers after I started talking about being trans. And so being trans and talking about it saved my life, saved my community, allowed me to create a space where so many of us can keep expressing and keep changing our lives. And so I value that more than I value my suppression. And that's a value I determined for myself. And so while I may feel uncomfortable in my online visibility, my body may be uncomfortable as I grow in follower and subscriber count, in people watching my stuff, in people judging my stuff, in people who are cis and uninformed or trans and uninformed, or people who just want to make another enemy online, who don't know me, to whom I'm just a random stranger. All of that, even if it feels so painful, I know deep down that I just need to process this emotion of pain because I know my value and I know what I value and I know that it has worked for me and it has helped me, and I have proof of that. And so that is the power of having a value you align with and that you trust and that you can continue exploring and reinforcing and then build on it. Same thing as like I recently got a comment. Well, I asked you guys, what are the difficulties you have with being trans? And one person reflected that they are scared to try. That has been reflected in these community calls too. It has been reflected in other comments on my channel. And notice, and it is reflected in my own life. I do my own nails now, but when I was like a very binary trans guy, even this time last year, I couldn't even imagine like having like long nails. But like I've had like long extensions and I slowly grew in my comfort of that expression, slowly got comfortable with people perceiving me as a very feminine gay guy. or genderqueer, gay, weird, mass like AMAB looking person, and accepted all the ways that I might be perceived, and realized that all of these, I value all of these judgments from strangers more than I value judging myself. I value your judgment of me more than I value my judgment of myself. So you can judge me, but I value not judging myself, and I value expressing myself because I don't value judging myself. So the trade-off is clearer and clearer. And then you have more ability to choose and more ability to discern what is right for you. And that is real self-sovereignty. That is real power. And it's the same thing of like, because when we fight back and when we resist, and there's even in New Age spirituality, it's like, oh, take the path of least resistance and da da. But even these words like resistance is painted as a bad word, even though your body, when it resists conformity and when it resists suppression and sends you all sorts of pain signals and anger signals and chronic pain and emotions that never go away, that resistance to oppression and to conformity and to objectification is actually power. It's not to be avoided. It's not to find the path of least resistance and to go with the flow and bypass everything. It is to be angry and to resist and to fight back and to express and to do it creatively and to make your art, write your books, sell your stuff at the value it deserves to be sold at, and know that people have money for the things they want to buy. And people have time for the people they want to make time with. And people have um a listening ear, compassionate understanding, time out of their day, texting you all the time, calling you all the time, because they have time to make that for the people they care about. People always know what they're doing, and people always because always know what you're doing. You know when you're cheating someone. You know when you're getting more than what something is worth. You know when you are paying like $7 for a tube of toothpaste. What the fuck? Like that's worth $3, okay? Like what is right and what is wrong. You know what is valuable and what is not valuable. And over time, with experiment and experience, you determine what you value and what is of value. And that's how you live a life that is self-sovereign. And then you notice how when things leave your life, you're still okay. And that wasn't because you were trans, wasn't because you were genderqueer, wasn't because there was something wrong with you. It was because you and that person valued two different things. You were incompatible. You were misaligned in the way that you want to live your life. And then when people get mad at you, it's just them projecting their preference for how someone should and shouldn't live their life, how they should and shouldn't live their life. And then all of these judgments, even though there is so much to say about how a person's judgment of us means that we are unsafe, a lot of times we ourselves, as marginalized groups, put ourselves in unsafe situations because we think that that's what we deserve. And so over time, when we stop beating up on ourselves, we are able to remove ourselves more quickly, be more bodily aware, be able to stand up to someone who is about to attack us. And if we have a calm demeanor, we are much more likely to not have that person like attack us. Like people don't attack people who are calm because a calm person is armed potentially. A calm person potentially could call somebody. Like you don't know what to expect from a calm person. So your calmness, your safety within your body, and your trust in yourself is actually holds so much more power than you eating fear, than you eating anxiety, than you eating unsafety, and you eating suffering, and you justifying it to an imaginary audience. So yeah, now I'll get off my soapbox.
That's a good soapbox.
Thank you. Because
That's good. I like that.
really, like, we have been taught to internalize, blame, self-reject, self-suppress, and say, oh, this trans body is the problem. This body in chronic pain is the problem. This body that keeps
Hmm.
popping up with health issues every month, this body that needs
Yes.
surgery after surgery, this body whose joints won't stop aching, this body that is neurodivergent and can't um function when it's in stress, this body that has periods, this body that goes through cycles, luteal phase, follicular phase, this body that has inconsistent energy, this body that is black, this body that is brown, this body that is fat, this body that is balding, this body that is short, that is body that is too tall, right? All of these things that are wrong about us, our appearance, our presentation, or even our lifestyle choice, bruh. Like some people are still calling queerness a lifestyle choice. And I'm like, yes, actually, it is my lifestyle choice. I choose to be queer because I could also choose not to be queer. And a lot of people who think it's a choice are also choosing not to express themselves when in reality they really are queer. In reality,
Hmm.
so many of us are queer. And so yes, the more that we stop fearing our bodies, the sex that our body wants to have, the touch that our body wants to experience, and the people that it wants to do it with, the people that we think it's too, like, oh, people out of our league that we would like to experience life with and connect with, money that is out of our league to have, connections that are out of our league to have, social power that we've never even thought we could have. How can we get comfortable with that? How can we contribute to a world and the people power that will build the new earth, that will build the Renaissance, that is going to be like built from the ashes of a system. Like there's a reason this system is failing us, and there's a reason that it's coming up more and more in our face. It's not because we need to lay down and die and give up right now. It's because we need to organize ourselves to be able to long term maintain self validation, self worth, and self value, and align with people who also fucking value themselves and
Hmm.
collaborate
Hmm.
to build a word that works for us. You cook, come cook for us. You have a house, let's gather together in your house.
Oh my God. Yes.
You
Everybody I talked to,
go
sorry.
ahead, please, please.
Everybody I talk to is super depressed, and I've got like a big friend group on FetLife and stuff. And I'm like, okay, everybody's lonely and miserable. I was like, we need to start a social club. And so I've got like 4 people on board so far. And I'm like, all right, let's go. We got to do this because everybody's lonely. Why are we all lonely inside alone? We could be out there together. I've already gotten 2 people out of the house, like dressed for the first time and like going and starting on their journeys and stuff like that. We would do a concert, the one, and then the other one we went somewhere else. Um, but yeah, everybody's alone and miserable, but there's so many of us out there. We just got to get out and get together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. Like you know how to host a ritual, a ceremony. You know how to help people heal and process feelings. Like, do you know how to, are you strong? Are you physically strong? Are you tall or fat or strong? You got a lot of muscle. Like, can you help protect somebody who needs to be like walked to an abortion clinic where there's protesters, right? Can you drive? Can you even the fact that we can drive is sometimes a skill you may not even value within yourself because
Mhm.
driving is just used to get to your job and you fucking hate your job. But your access to a car or buy groceries that you're so sick of tired of buying every week, like, but your access to a car and your ability to have a car can be like the safety somebody needs to get from point A to point B, right? Or you can help carry groceries for someone, or like organizing is something we do physically, mutual aid is something we do physically, but it starts in our own ability to manage our nervous system and even our own ability to receive help, ask for help, know that we are deserving of help, and to be able to what am I what are the right words for this? Um, like know that our place in this world makes sense. Like it makes sense for our pain to be here, and it makes sense for our joy to be here. And that's why in the last newsletters I've talked about internalization is because trans people are removed from the context of our experience. And that's the same thing with every isolated group. Like we're purposefully taught not to approach people who look different because yeah, let's isolate the person who's visibly trans. Let's isolate the person who's black. Let's isolate the person who's brown. Let's isolate the person in the wheelchair. Let's not know how to talk to the homeless or the unhoused person, right? Like let's like there's a law in my city that says it's illegal to help an unhoused person. And like it's also illegal to stand up for a black and brown person because you get shot too. We're all getting shot. It's illegal to help someone. It's illegal to be visibly a certain way. And the more that we can realize that our safety comes from our own ability and capacity to trust where we can be safe and when we can't be safe, and to know and to teach each other where and when we can be safe and can't be safe. Because sometimes we don't know. Sometimes we trust the wrong partners and that fucks our whole life up. Sometimes we trust the wrong um, work environment. Sometimes we think we deserve this kind of job and this kind of pay. But our best friend here is like, no, come work with me. Or like, this is what you deserve. We're all supposed to teach each other from what we know. And that is the true power of people power. And that is the true power of intersectionality, like that word that was coined by that lovely lady quite recently. But intersectionality allows us to find parallels in our experiences and actually learn what we need to learn. Because safety is not just a matter of having the right body anymore. Safety is a matter of knowing psychology and nervous system regulation and standing up for yourself and orienting yourself in the right way to avoid a problem while also not ignoring the problem. And so that also gives us strength within ourselves to know that we can survive. And we've been through shit already and we got through it. And if we go through more shit again, there's a whole community waiting for us, waiting to be held by us. Like we may be terrified of getting sexually assaulted when we choose to transition to be a woman, right? But but we have a whole community of women who can teach us how to avoid that pain or how to protect ourselves from it. And also a whole community that can hold us in a certain experience. Again, back to rites of passage, even though nobody should experience pain. Nobody should experience pain. But unfortunately, pain is really unavoidable in our world, and it initiates us into greater levels of empathy, compassion, and growth. And if you think
Hmm.
about whatever you believe about the soul's journey, we are learning such valuable lessons in these lifetimes that we're living. And having meaning is so personal, so personal. And so within yourself, you can find that meaning and also trust that that meaning will be heard even if it's not agreed with. But you're not rejecting yourself anymore. So it's like, okay, I'll find another place to be. I'll find different people. I'll find more people. I will do this. I don't know if you were EFT tapping there, Lewis, but fuck yeah. These are exactly the spots right here above the eyebrows, above the cheeks, right here, nose and jaw. All of these places are so good for tapping. I tap every time I'm having emotional overload or emotional numbness because it's like presence with the body. It's like, okay, I'm listening. You're numb, I'm listening. Or even just here. Like you're numb, I'm listening. Okay, what do you need? Or like, oh, you're overstimulating. You can't keep skip you keep skipping song after song after song. Okay, I'm listening. Hello, hello. Like this is presence with the body. And these are acupressure points. These are points that you just need to touch and tap to trigger movement of energy in traditional Chinese um TCM med traditional Chinese. I forget the
I think
acronym.
that's right. I think that's right.
It's something medicine. That's the word. Medicine. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And this is the our little thing that it's gonna give me a really hard time.
it's blending it. Yeah.
I know. Okay.
Okay, there it is.
Values and your nervous system and the connection between you. Your nervous system allows you to act on values that you prefer and don't prefer. Or your nervous system inhibits you from acting on certain things because you value something that you don't need to value anymore. But again, self-compassion is so important here because these values have saved your life once. So give yourself grace as you're releasing that.
Mhm.
Would anyone like to share from their experience? I talked so much, I'm sorry about that. But what
That's
Karma
okay.
brought up was so valuable, and I just had more to say. And I'm very proud of each and every single one of you and whoever's watching the replay of this, because it is such a challenge to navigate the world that is trying to constantly us, and then we can make all sorts of judgments of other people. Other people aren't doing enough, or we're not doing enough. But we're not, we're individually not at fault for what we've been through. We are only individually responsible for the nervous system healing we want to have right now for ourselves. That's the only thing we're responsible for. And then the more that we heal ourselves without avoiding, the more we will inevitably want to help other people and be helped by other people. It's
Hmm.
always a personal decision. And so, yeah, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And honestly, it's sometimes that's how I feel with my YouTube channel. I post stuff and then people will leave angry comments, and I'm like, girl, I just want to help you. It is your decision if this is helpful for you or not. And I feel like that's medicine for everyone. Like, be you, people can deal with it or not. But you deserve to take up space in a world that is actually gonna only keep winning the more you play small because fascism wins when everybody's like quietly trying to uphold the status quo. But if nobody's trying to uphold the status quo, fascism has to crumble.
Hmm. That's why I said I love it. It's punk to be like a good person now. It's great.
Yeah, still challenging, but very, very good. Yeah. Any thoughts from anyone else in the group? Go ahead.
Um, so yeah, one thing I kept thinking about, it's might be like a little bit of a ramble, but the thought I had was that what has been given to us in terms of the world that we've been born into or systems that we have taught have authority or values that we should uphold. What has been given to us is not for us as people, and there is something better. Um, and that if there are struggles that you feel as an individual with expressing yourself, it's that part of the reason is going to be because whatever systems you've been born into or the world that we are given to survive in intentionally devalues us as people. And I think there's an when I'm saying that, I think there's an emphasis on us as us rather than you, because even that is a difference where us recognizes that even as an individual person, you are part of a collective group of people that are also suffering under these same systems. And we can create something better outside of the systems that we've been given to us. And that I was just thinking about it because we were thinking about individual. The idea of like individualism is, I think there's some irony to that where it's like there's a version of it that's promoted where it's like go out and get and do as much as you can for yourself. But that kind of individualism also promotes devaluing individuals that are suffering. So, like the thing of there's a homeless person laying down on the street, and it's normalized to just walk past them. But we see someone who's a billionaire and we promote them and give them all this attention, and but we don't really ask. And if someone asks them to do more for people, that is like a problem. It's like what do you want? Get it for your do it yourself. Pick yourself up. And it's I was just related to that with thinking about the things that we did when we were kids. Is I just remember as a kid during the summer, we didn't have like organized stuff. So the kids would just be in the neighborhood, everybody or the adults would be at work. We would just walk around the neighborhood and do stuff. And it's like I just don't remember as a kid there being anyone that we like ostracized or was out of the group. Like if you're outside, you're gonna hang out with us and walk around. Yeah, I really don't remember there being one kid who was like there would be a big group of us and it was just like we really didn't fuck with them. Like, no, you no, don't he can't come with us or she can't come with us. It's like just and yeah, thinking about that is so weird because now it's like the world is like promoting that of go out and seek out people to ostracize. And it's like,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. And thank you for sharing. That is such a beautiful thing. And the biggest reason why, not the biggest reason why, but the biggest like pro to deconstructing internalized transphobia is that we need to stand right next to someone visibly trans as well. We need to be able to do that. And we need to be able to also sometimes be visibly trans ourselves. Like, however we're choosing to present in that moment, like whether we're dressed cis or perceived cis, like our navigational gender, like whatever we use to navigate the world, like sometimes we need to be able to be okay aligning ourselves with someone who is trans and know that like because like before I didn't even want to walk down the street with people looking trans because I was a stealth trans guy. I was so attached to like appearing cis and having that cis experience that I did not want to be seen or like post a picture of myself on Instagram with people who look trans because there were so many people I was pretending to be cis in front of. And so even just like deconstructing this internalized transphobia, I realized that like I would much rather stand with a couple of trans people because we're stronger when we're four or five of us together than impress every single passerby cis person. Because what has cis culture ever done for me? Like in terms of how much I love myself or not. And like I have really been able to switch how I even interact with cis people. Like, I don't even care as much to impress them with my masculinity. because I know I look feminine and you will still respect me in this space. And like, yeah, yeah, I used to look very similar and look queer, but I didn't have as much respect because didn't really respect myself and I wasn't really honestly present in that space. And I was always trying to see how other people will react to me. But recently I've been so like in my body, focused on what I'm doing. Like, um, I used to not be able to like work in groups because I would get stressed out, but now I'm getting better and better at it because I'm just doing my own thing. And it's gotten a little bit easier over time. And I found that people really respect somebody doing their own thing. And people really respect somebody who's like, okay, if that's what you really think about me, what can I do about that?
Mm.
I guess that's how you feel about me. That sucks. And then you move along, and there's so much respect to be earned in that situation. But again, we shouldn't rely on respect because respect is not freely given. It's something that is very dependent on how much someone wants to give or not give. And so validation, first and foremost, has to come from yourself. When when
Hmm.
when you accept yourself, the whole world accepts you.
It really does. I'll tell you, like, no matter what I feel I look like when I go out and I'm feeling in a good mood or feeling good energy, I'll get compliments. And if I spend forever getting dressed and get the perfect like makeup and everything, and I go out and I'm not feeling it, nobody says a fucking word to me. So like it really is. It's I've been noticing that. It's pretty amazing. And then I noticed too that being around people was always draining for me, but it was like I was around the wrong people, and also I just wasn't being myself around people, and that's why it was so draining. So like it's been hard, but I've been getting over that thing of like not wanting to make plans because then I'm not gonna have the mental energy or whatever to do it, because like I go and do these things and it actually fills me up now instead of leaving me empty, and it's something I never thought would be me, so it's pretty amazing.
Beautiful. Yeah. So,
And then, look, just think about what you said with cis culture. It's like, what does it do when you're talking about that? I was just thinking, like, what does it actually do for cis people? Like, it also fucks them over too. Like, if like the majority of people, if you don't meet the goals or requirements, you're just supposed to exist as like a lesser person, like by default. It's just like, and people will
yeah.
hold on to that, and just, ugh, it's just constantly like fighting, and you're fighting each other to uphold this thing that just says like you're not good enough, you're not doing enough, but you should aspire to be good enough so that you can enforce this whatever the suffering of not meeting the requirements of these ideals onto other people. I guess that's the end goal, is like you made it and then you get to be the thing that people look at and say, oh man, I'm not as good as that. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like that. Wow, I never. Shit. I wrote that down.
That's such a beautiful reflection, Louis, because yes, yes, it doesn't serve anyone to be on a pedestal, whether you're up, like at the bottom looking up, or on the pedestal looking down, because there's always like more to aspire to, or there's always like a deeper bottom. But that sounded crazy. Hold on. Hold on. Okay.
Edit that one out. No, leave it in. Leave it in. Leave it
I actually might have to leave it in. Um, there is always like lower to drop when you are on a pedestal. And so, of course, if you're having a bad day, you haven't slept, your eyes are like your under eyes are just puffy, your face is puffy, your face is not symmetrical because we're like tense because your lymph and fascia isn't flowing the way that it should, and like your hair's not done, and like you're automatically gonna feel like you've fallen a bit because you're not as pretty, not as put together, not as beautiful. And like if you keep falling down and getting back up, and your worth constantly depends on how well you can perform all of these proper things. Meanwhile, you're slaving away at a job that you just have to work at, and then there's also expectation to be tired as fuck and look good, bro. It takes time to look good and energy to look good. And also, looking good is a reclamation of your body too. So taking the time to look good, to take care of yourself, to be hygienically like involved in your body and like alleviating pain instead of like bulldozing over it and managing instead of like waiting until it gets worse for unmanageable symptoms. We're like not managing, taking care of your fucking self every day. Like loving yourself in every shape and form, and also valuing yourself, period, valuing your presence, period. And so when your presence and your experience of the moment is the only thing that matters, then it matters more that your presence and experience of feeling ugly is more important than you being ugly or feeling ugly. Your presence and experience of feeling unlovable is more valuable than your beingness or feelingness of unvalue or not being valued. And so, and then you can be with people who also value their presence more than what they look like, and they can give you an honest reflection of their humanity. And then you might actually love your friends and want to hang out with them and want to go out with them and not feel like you have to constantly compete with them. Or you might feel brave enough to finally fucking make friends instead of being stuck on Reddit forums. No offense. I also have a Discord community group that y'all can join where we just talk to each other facelessly. But, but we need to actually meet with other trans people on a Zoom call or in person, other people who are experiencing a lot of difficulty, the same type of difficulty in same different format, different font, and be able to hold ourselves and each other and not feel like we need to compete and butt heads against who's more privileged, who's less privileged, who is cis passing, who is straight passing, who is white passing, who is like yes, all of these like in an outdated system of the world, in an outdated view of the world, yes, those things mattered. Yes, they still matter, but the more and more that we resist this system, it matters less and less what privileges you have inherently and how well, and instead it matters more how well you're willing to comply with those privileges to get the full benefit of that. That was a word. Were you gonna say something, Lewis?
Or not, I did mic drop.
Mic drop. Thank you.
Right. Shit.
Ah, I am very fired up today. I apologize for
Right.
much, but I am.
No, I love it. I love it.
When I start talking, I
We should
can't.
all be more fired up.
Yeah, yeah. So let's close this off. I want to teach you some like things, breath work and nervous system activities that you can use to channel anger and to not fear it as much. So when you are feeling numb, usually it's because you are trying to avoid a feeling or a change. And anger is a conduit for change or a method of change. And or you might be feeling overstimulated and also you're resisting the change of calming down your body or of experiencing that emotion. Or or you're experiencing fear and you are resisting the fact that you might actually be the person who is able to face that fear and experience it. Like I might fear going to an open mic, but maybe I'm just resisting the identity of the person who actually can go to an open mic and it's no big deal for them and they are loved and accepted and seen whether they sound shitty or good, whether they've warmed up or not, whether they're perfect or not. And nobody's really perfect. We all have our own definitions of what is perfect to us and not perfect. But so my favorite thing to do is this kind of breath that I will demonstrate. It's hold on 1 second. I got it. So, um, taking a quick deep breath, quick fast breaths into your nose like this, and then just breathing out with your mouth, like yeah, you can feel free to do it with me. So what this does is it engages like your whole body, your actual diaphragm. And when you chest breathe, that's anxiety breathing. When you diaphragm breathe, that is presence breathing. So and that fast-paced breath gives your fast, angry, fiery emotions a place to be channeled. You can do it sitting down, you can do it standing up, you can do it when you're anxious and washing the dishes because you just need to get it done. Wherever you are, you can do this breath and you can do it quickly. Or just no, I just did that and already my fucking shoulders released because I had to have space in my body. Like I shouldn't be swearing because it's going on YouTube. Like this. And we've done this fire breathing karma before. You've already got it down. Lewis, I'm gonna mute you just so you have an opportunity to do this with us. Just like that fast breathing, letting your stomach expand. And I like to do this like I'll breathe in. If I'm feeling numb, I will start breathing slower. So I'll go breathe in for 3, out for 3, breathe in for 3, out for 3. Then I'll do 1 second, breathe in for 1. Then I'll do half a second. I'll do these for longer, like, and then whenever I'm ready to speed up, I'll breathe like half a second. And then I'll just let myself speed up. And notice how like you had to get into your body for that. It's a full body experience of being able to get those breaths going fast. Feel free to do this with me again. We'll do it again. Doing it in rounds is really good because you're waking your body out of that fight, flight, and freeze. So breathe in for 1, out for 1, in for 1, out. You can close your eyes. Now speed up to half a second. In, out, in, out, in, out. A quarter of a second. Now as fast as you can. Allow yourself to take a deep recentering breath if you need to shake it out a little and back to fast. Beautiful. And now shake your body out a little bit. So what we're doing with this fire breathing is we're giving our emotions a place to be channeled, regardless of if you are overstimulated or understimulated or suppressed, whatever it is. Um, a lot of times for neurodivergent people, we may experience boredom and we're just so fucking bored and we'll reach for I know Karma's nodding at this. Reach reach for the thing that is going to provide the most relief in that moment, whether that is escape or stimulation. Fire breathing allows you to um have more self-sovereignty over that process because those stimulants or those whatever have the same effect. They speed up your heart rate or they relax your heart rate. And they engage the sympathetic nervous system or the parasympathetic nervous system. And sympathetic is your stress certain nervous system. Parasympathetic, which is like the parent of the sympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic nervous system is the calming down nervous system. It's the rest and digest. And so fire breathing allows you to purposefully stimulate stress in a safe environment so that your body acclimatizes itself with safe stress. The kind of stress that we need to motivate ourselves to do stuff, the kind of stress that we need to um, release procrastination on something or release our attachment to something um, or calm down our bodies if we are overstimulated. So the whole point of self-sovereignty with your nervous system is that you know how to upregulate yourself, how to downregulate yourself, how to know when you are upregulated or downregulated, and having the obviously trust that you can bring yourself back to that space, the deservability that you deserve to be safe, sound, or up and excited and joyful about who you are, regardless of what that is, and being dynamic in that. And rage and anger is one of those things that we suppress until it blows up in our face and we explode at people, at our job. We quit that job we should have kept. We rip up our clothes that we love. We yell at someone we love. We burn a bridge, right? Fire breathing allows us to channel it, express it, live with it and through it, and then release it. Let it be what it is. And your body's alive now. Your body's breathed now. You are aware of where things hurt, where things don't hurt. That's the power of breath. And then I'll give you another exercise. This is called, I don't even know what it is, but I think it's, actually, I won't say what it triggers in case I'm wrong. But just giving yourself a rub at a very calm pace is the same kind of sensation that mothers use to calm down their children. They'll give like a child a back rub, and this at this specific pace, and your body's gonna know what pace it is, but there's like this is not right. And too slow is like, oh, what's going on here? But like there is a pace that you exactly what you're doing, Karma, on the thighs is good too. Like this sensation is a sensation of calm. It's a sensation of presence. And it's the same when you're holding someone's hand and you give them a little rub like that, that same pace. And it's a universal pace. It's at some sort of whatever per second. But your body knows what this pace is. So this is such a great little exercise to do after fire breathing. After that, or just the like, I'm here, I'm awake, and I'm alive. I'm not dead yet. So I'll leave you with those to go back to every week. Not every week, every time your body is numb or triggered. And I'm going to cut these videos up into some shorts so that you just can keep clicking on this short when I explain how to do it in case you forget. Um, and I also wanted to ask if you guys are okay with me including the audio of you talking in the call that I share on YouTube. Is that okay?
Hmm.
And if I make a
Good.
couple of shorts where it's just like my face and a couple of um like what's it called? B-roll with like you and I talking. Is that okay? Because like
Mm-hmm.
y'all said some really good stuff, and I want to be able to like share that snippet. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, love that. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. Oh, that was 2 hours of love and fun. Sometimes these run long because I talk too much because I talk a lot. But yeah,
I love it.
yay! Thank you for being here. So yes, I host these every week, as y'all know, in the Diva tier. And I also launched Queer Waters Mini, which is more focused on nervous system regulation and maintenance of yourself. So if you are experiencing really difficult emotions, having trouble processing certain experiences with regard to being trans, regardless of if it's uncertainty of how you feel about yourself, confusion about how you feel about yourself, or that sensation you have when you set a boundary with someone and it's deeply uncomfortable, even though it was right. It's how do you maintain a life that is both joyful, but still so painful in some ways because of all the things we have to navigate as people who are visibly marginalized, depending on how we present. And how do we like pick ourselves back up every time, regardless? So that is like a thing for you to do if you're like, I want to trust my body more and not keep running away from it every time I feel guilt, shame, fear, trauma. I have a thing from the past resurfacing. It covers everything. I made this chart basically for every trauma that we experience as trans people, I have attributed to a nervous system regulating activity that helps you alleviate that specific trauma. So it serves as a chart that you can always reference. If I'm experiencing trans shame or shame in general, do this. If I'm experiencing trans anger, like today, do fire breathing. Channel it into something. And when you are able to identify what you're feeling, you're that much able to zone it into something that needs to be experienced, alleviating all of that. What's that fatigue when there's too many decisions? Decision fatigue?
Right? Something like that.
Yeah,
It's close enough.
I found it. Ah, give me 1 second. I'm going to change this so that y'all can see. Nope, this is not gonna work. Okay. Y'all can see I live in an actual room, not in a grassy little forest. But basically, this is what it looks like, Clearwater's mini toolkit. And for each experience, I have highlighted a thing that works. This is from the link that I it's this is the sign up page where you can get the ebook, but I've changed it to reflect what I'm now teaching. But yeah, trans grief, trans freeze, trans fear, trans worth, and trans trauma. And all of that can be applied to like any, it's not just trans. But being trans and the ability to handle fluidity extends to every single aspect of life because life is inherently fluid. And that's why we struggle so much to maintain a mold. And that's why everyone is the exception to every rule because there really are not that many generalizations that we can make other than the fact that we're all human. So, yeah, 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 I need my grass back. I feel naked without grass. It's my little Zen fairy pixie hollow moment.
Right.
Right. So yeah, let's check it out together. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being in trans community, and honoring yourselves with me. I'm not sure when I'm gonna host the next free one, but if you're like, I need support regularly, join us. We're always here. And yeah, I'm very excited for what I'm gonna be teaching next. Expect more videos and more lives from me and more nervous system regulation, more how do I live this life that live in this world that is constantly telling me in a number of ways that I don't deserve to be alive and don't deserve to exist or to feel or to live fully expressed. How can I every time choose to make space for myself regardless of that feeling? Whether that is a community rejects me, or I feel rejected by a community, I feel rejected, or like a whole friend group blows up in my face and I'm alone. Like or loneliness in general in the winter months, all of these experiences that we are so used to seeking outside help from, how do I continue to trust myself, bring myself back, love myself repeatedly over and over again, and not leave myself hanging? And rewiring those neural connections. Like in the last one of the last newsletters, I talked about how my recent heartbreak really triggered me and made me want to self-harm, and how like I really rarely get that feeling now because I've developed so much self-love and I don't act on it, but the feeling is there and I want to do it. And so, how can we hold that feeling and say, yes, I hear you. You want to do this. You are so real in wanting to do this, and it is so reasonable for you to want to do this, and yet I choose something better for you because I know that this is better and you can trust me now. And instead of listening to what your body is saying to you, you're talking to your body and saying, no, this is how you feel. Yes, you feel angry. Yes, you feel shame. Yes, you feel fear. Not, oh, I'm not supposed to be feeling this. No, yes, you are feeling this, and it's okay. And believe it or not, counterintuitively, and I know you know this because intuitively it feels right, but regardless, counterintuitively, you'd think that the less you spend in an emotion, the more it's just gonna stay over there. But the more you're able to welcome it in and be like, yes, I am ashamed. Yes, I'm scared. Yes, I'm fearful. Yes, I've wronged so many people. Yes, so many people have wronged me. Yes, I'm all these things because I'm human. And I accept all of these things in my friends and in the people I'm in community with. And I might not like that person I'm in community with. I might think they're annoying, but I know I'm annoying too for to some people. Sometimes I drive myself crazy. And it's okay for me to be annoyed by someone and still listen. It's okay for me to be annoying and still speak. All of the more we're able to hold closely all of our feelings instead of running away from them, have the somatic nervous system tools to be able to hold ourselves in that emotion long enough, we're able to transform those low density emotions into higher frequencies like love, like connection, like transcendence, like merging, like based on purpose and like a future that we were building together. So yeah, the secret to trans liberation is in the nervous system. It's how we regulate ourselves and how we regulate together and with who we choose to regulate. Because you will never feel fully safe in an environment that wants you to be cis, wants you to play along with all of the formalities and professionalism of patriarchal, colonial, white supremacist ways of beings. That's not safe for your nervous system. That's not the people you want to co-regulate with. So the keys are in our own ability to trust our bodies and the bodies of others, and not be afraid of another trans body, not be afraid of another queer body, even if it's HIV positive. Like even if that person has a STI that doesn't go away, like marginalized groups are always taught that we're filthy and dirty and we have all these diseases. Like gay people were like HIV was known as the gay disease. That's what people called it, right? And like knowing that we can trust people who have all of these experiences that to our colonial mind might feel like that's dirty, that's wrong, that's sinful. How can we hold ourselves in our shame filth, dirt, anger, disease, and transform that into a higher frequency. Hold it long enough for it to heal itself. Because I might be running these, I might be guiding you through my initiation, which is, I've been through so much pain, guys. I've been through so much suffering, and I've hurt myself so much, and I have scars to prove it. I suffered so much until I realized it wasn't the option anymore. And I've been initiated into teaching you that. But I don't heal you, you heal yourself because I am guiding you through a frequency I have, and you're just meeting me there and knowing that we can be safe here together. And when you do that with me, you can do that by yourself. When you do that with someone else, you're teaching them how to do it with themselves. And the more that you do it with yourself, you're teaching your body to heal itself. Then you won't need to hold yourself every time you experience shame. It'll be like, well, fuck, I am so ashamed. Let's live our life anyway. It's going to be automatic that you won't need to hold yourself anymore because your body will learn that you're not, oh, we don't self-suppress this anymore. Whatever. I'm ugly today. Look at the mirror and just do a middle finger. Like, this is nervous system regulation, acceptance in every form, and acceptance of other people in every form. Yeah, yeah. And on that note, I'm wishing all of you the best day. I'm wishing all of you trust in where you're going. And it's so good to hang out with you guys after like 2 months of not seeing you two. So thank you for coming so much. I really
Hmm.
appreciate it. And
Hmm.
I just
Thank
can't
you.
wait. I just can't wait. I just can't wait. And I'm really fucking excited. So yeah, y'all be excited for your own lives too. And are you guys on the Discord?
No, but I have Discord now, and I saw that email, so I'll get on there. And I think I'm gonna have this man buy me that thing, the little course thing. I'm be like, hey, you want me to get better, right? You
Lewis,
said know your value, right?
period. Lewis, are you on the
Yeah,
Discord?
I have it, but I can join. I'll join.
I mean,
Yeah, I
if you
have a
don't use
Discord.
if you don't use Discord, you don't have to. But
I use I use it a good bit.
okay. Do you have the link? Because I can put it in the chat.
I think I saw it in my email. I see it.
Oh, was it in the email that I sent recently? Yeah,
It
yeah.
was
There's
in
a
the
button.
email.
There's a button, right? Does it work?
Yeah.
Does it bring you to the
What's it called?
take me to the link to
Yeah,
the Discord?
Oh,
community space.
Yeah,
hey, there we go. Hell yeah.
period, period. Local
Uh,
grass.
uh, What is it? Is it this one?
Love. Okay. Hey,
Ah,
hey. Okay, perfect. So if you want to just
ah.
share your wins and because we have a wins room, we also have a feelings room, and I don't check that room, so it's just like a void space for you to dump whatever you feel.
Oh God.
If you feel like there's no space, safe space to do that, um, there's a wins room, there's a memes and shenanigans room, and there's a media recommendations room, and there's
Oh,
also a room where I update you on community calls.
oh
So,
my God. I have so many songs. I listened to
okay.
like 200,000 hours of music last year or something like
Nice.
that.
Yeah. So this is just like an easier way for us all to connect. Yeah, if you guys use Discord. Are you Quanta, Lewis? Lit. Okay. Perfect. Hooray, hurrah. Okay. So yeah, feel free to use that group to keep in touch with us. I think Becky is on that group as well. So yeah. And I'm trying to get Izzy into it too. So yeah, thank you for being here. You guys made my day. And yes. I'm going to be continue going live on YouTube, but I always go on such live on such bad times because I like go to school during the day, so I'm like going live at like 2 a.m. because I also stay up really late. But I'll try to go live at
Oh,
a normal time.
you
I
could
don't.
go live at 2 a.m. If I knew. I'm always up at 2 a.m. I don't get off work till like 12:30 Central Time. So
Okay,
like in the morning.
so
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 like yeah.
basically, I go live a lot at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sorry. what did I just say? 12
AM?
a.m., 1
Okay.
a.m., 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're up, maybe I will like update you guys in the Discord like, oh, I'm
Yeah,
planning on
yeah,
going
do
live
that,
in the
do
next
that.
the next hour, so that if you have your
Yeah.
notifications on, you'll know. And like you mute individual channels. So if one channel is driving you crazy, like I have the feelings room muted, for example, because for my own sanity, I won't check that.
Yes, yes, yes.
But
I can feel it.
yeah, yeah. Love you guys. Take care. Make the best of today, tonight, and just keep growing and keep being positive and keep you. Okay, take care.
Thank you. All right, bye.
Sure.